get
actually, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to have my phone on my profile so I can see what it looks like while we're sitting down.
Good. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
I can also do this. You guys want to see what's on this camera? Can you see it?
Yeah, actually, I can see that too. Yeah. So it's all four of us here. All right. So, I mean, it's far. Stako, you probably got to be the closest one to.
I'm at 66%. So let's get this rolling.
All right. So.
I just hope the wind don't blow it over. I'm looking at the screen as if it's over there.
Do you think we'll be able to be heard? Let's still be able to project your voice and all that shit. All right, let's give it a go.
Hold on, wait a minute. Alright, so we got that. I'm just trying to get my profile up. I have to switch it.
Gotcha.
Alright, so it should pop up.
Stay like a spider.
Oh.
Be like a
Meredith
spider.
will be here tonight.
Fine. Alright, that's cool.
Hold on. Why didn't that pop up? Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I got TWC on. So when they go live, I can just click it. Alright, I'm good here. Anybody else here? Do you want to open this?
I'm gonna open that. I got it. I'm just gonna walk in and open it.
Okay. Let's just put these back here. Alright, let's get in our seats. Y'all ready? I'll be here. I don't want the center. Well, that's gonna be JP.
I'll get the center.
Exactly. Come on, Skip! Too tall, so I need right here.
Should I move it?
All right, and one,
yeah, as long as
and 5, 4. Oh, Stako, fix that chair.
Stako's gonna be,
you.
he's gonna be sitting in it.
You know what?
Yeah, you can sit in it.
Fuck.
Are you fine?
I can sit in it. It doesn't matter to me. It's all good.
I got it. I'll sit here.
We can
It's
switch
my
the
chair.
chairs.
I got it. I don't
All right.
care, man.
Cool. All right, and 5, 4, 3.
Don't be nervous. Tired of being
Ready?
Sunglasses.
All right, we're live.
Helps you become yourself.
Yo! What is up? What is up? We're here, the Real Wrestling Crew, here live. What's going on, everybody? From the Wells Fargo Center here in Philadelphia. Just wanted to touch base. This is our first crew talk. First and foremost, my name is Carlton, aka Logic. Finally putting a face to the name. We're all going to introduce ourselves. Here's the man of the hour right here.
What's going on, everybody? Just JB, longtime pro wrestling fan. Really excited to get this going. This show is a long time coming. We're really excited to, share our content with you all, put faces to the name, just like Carlton said. Right now,
Hi, I'm Chris. Howdy, y'all. I've been a wrestling fan since I was 10. Also part of the crew.
And here's our MVP right here. Our MVP, the guy who really, really is the weight of the page.
Thank you. I'm the content creator. I provide the news, the culture, the history. Just everything you see on the page is pretty much what I do. So, yeah.
All right, his name is Sharif. So basically, what is Real TWC? We all started watching pro wrestling together back in the early 2010s. We went to KOP a lot, back at the old Fox and Hound, and that we saw all the pay-per-views that WWE held back then, and we all just kind of bonded. And then we eventually realized, a couple of years ago, last year? Crazy. We realized that we wanted to put our content on Instagram and just shoot the shit about what we love about pro wrestling to everybody, and that's what we're doing. So basically, first and foremost, guys, what we want to say is thank you. It's because of you guys that we're here in the first place. Thank you for following. Thank you for giving us your chance. Thank you for bringing us into your lives, because we hear a lot of comments. We see all the comments. We see all the DMs. We see all of you. So we thank you for making this possible. And welcome to our first episode of Crew Talk. Woo! And basically, what we do is we sit around and we're just going to talk what's going on in the wrestling business
While drinking.
while we're drinking something. Now, we're going to open up with what are we drinking? So I'm going to open up, this is Weyerbacher Insanity. It's really, really good. Weyerbacher is a brewery in Easton, PA. Had some of my favorite beers, so that's what I'm gonna be drinking. What are you drinking, Colton?
Right now, I did decide to go the cheap route and get me a Bud Ice today because it was still in my fridge. Getting down here and setting up, so this is what we're sipping on today as we talk about this pay-per-view.
And I got the Yingling.
I got the sober sauce.
Chris with the sober sauce. So what is the wrestling crew all about? So the big thing that we do is basically wrestling culture touches everything. That's the big thing with our page. We don't just focus primarily on wrestling. We focus on pop culture. We focus on even it doesn't really even matter because wrestling as a cultural force touches everything and everybody more than people think. And that's the big thing about what we do with our content and whatnot. So to start this off, we are in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is the best wrestling city by far.
Damn right.
In the United States of America.
Right.
Not being biased, by the way.
We're not going to be biased at all, even though the Eagles are the greatest team ever and the Sixers are going to win a championship. But
It's just the damn truth.
maybe that was a little crazy statement. The Sixers are kind
Birth of hardcore wrestling.
Yeah. So anyone who knows about wrestling knows about Philly's association with pro wrestling. Knows about the Lehigh Valley and the wrestling training facilities up in Bethlehem and whatnot. And real fans know about all that stuff. Now, we love that we have Elimination Chamber, but we have all talked about this multiple occasions, fellas. We think that it's about time that WrestleMania come to Philadelphia. So we're taking the time to talk to you, Vince McMahon, and Triple H, and whoever the hell, make sure that the events come to where they need to go to. Philadelphia would rep WrestleMania and rep WWE harder than anybody else.
So should we tag them in this? Because you went
guess.
really hard.
I guess maybe we should. That's probably what we should do. So, that's really what it is. So why is Philadelphia a bona fide top 10 wrestling city, top 5 wrestling city, arguably the best wrestling city in America? What do you think, Colton?
Because we tell the damn truth. That's why. It makes no sense why WrestleMania hasn't been here in over, 15 years? How long has it been since Mania's been here? Since I was a kid.
1999.
Yeah, I remember.
Attitude Era.
I went there with my uncle. Yeah, I went there with my uncle. I tried to steal the Intercontinental title. Anyway. But yeah, so it's like it's been that long. And we've had the Rumble, but then New York had it, at least 3 times. At least.
New York, New Jersey.
And I mean, we tell the truth. Hell, we booked the next year's WrestleMania because we booed the hell out of Rumble when it was here. We booed the hell out of Reigns. Then we booed him again when we knew it was going to happen. So
Y'all needed The Rock.
I love my city.
Y'all needed The Rock to get him over.
Still didn't work.
What do you think about Philadelphia and wrestling, Sharif?
I think to piggyback off that, it just has the history. ECW. Then you had CZW, which was basically a branch off of ECW. So it has the history of just the fans just being crazy and just saying whatever's on their mind.
Shout out to the Queen of Extreme, Francine.
Shout out. Chris, what do you think? How do you think about Philadelphia and its association with wrestling and all the rich wrestling history that's in this city?
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. I mean, give us another chance, guys. We're here to shine.
Exactly.
Let us shine.
Yep. We got the 2300 arena. ROH was here. Obviously, the birthplace of ECW. Everyone knows what it is right now. So, Carlton, go ahead.
So with that being said, since we're around here just talking, So what do y'all think about this pay-per-view today? I feel like we got screwed. I feel like we usually have the Rumble, or we usually have some type of big pay-per-view, one of the major 4, the 4 for 4s, and looks like we got screwed with the pay-per-view that nobody really cares about. So,
unless
that's
Ronda
in
Rousey's
between.
coming back. That's the only rumor
so what do y'all
about
think about tonight's pay-per-view? Because I'm kind of about it.
Well,
it. Ronda Rousey might be coming back.
Ronda.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's one of the big rumors. That's the only
Hear the crowd in the back.
thing I've Googled as far as rumors are concerned for today's events is that Ronda Rousey's going to come
They're
back.
cheering about us right now, by the way.
well, if Ronda Rousey comes back, then obviously I personally think that's a good thing. But for all intents and purposes, Elimination Chamber is definitely kind of like, at least this year with everything that happened with the fallout from Super Showdown, it's kind of like a filler.
But that's the thing.
Like,
Super Showdown. Oh my God! Why do you
Yeah.
have 2 pay-per-views in the middle? It
Yeah.
never was like that.
So now that we're talking about Elimination Chamber, we're still talking about the fallout from. It's linked to the fallout of Super Showdown, and I know that like everyone's been talking about it, so I want us all to chime in on that. How does everyone truly feel about the iconic Goldberg defeating the Fiend, Bray Wyatt?
They
Sharif.
booked it wrong.
Sharif, how do you feel about that, man?
So it was horrible. Like, you got a 50-year-old guy defeated somebody that's, what, 30? Early 30s.
32 at
Right.
best. 30
And that's
at
why
best.
you guys can't create stars. You do the same-ish. I didn't curse, by the way. Every time. You did it with KO, Kevin Owens, right? Because he was getting ready to have this amazing feud with Chris Jericho with the title. And then you had Goldberg defeat him in like 30 seconds. So it's just ridiculous. Like, y'all need to build the stars that you already have.
I'm with the frustration, okay? It makes no sense in the world how you have a character like The Fiend that you bring up and get the title, and you squash it with a Hall of Famer champion. Again, a Hall of Famer temporary champion at that, who comes back and screws the character again.
Can't be put down by
This happened before. It happened, John Cena did it, and now Goldberg did it.
Can't
Stop
be put down
killing
by,
Bray
Seth
Wyatt.
Rollins hitting him in the head with a chair
God.
and attached to
Now,
a steel
Stop
chairs,
killing
but
Bray
then-
Wyatt.
But if
I
you
will
get
drink
speared-
to
but if
that.
you get speared 2 or 3
Okay.
times, and then you half-ass the jackhammer, which is his finisher, you get to win.
Speaking of that, I just want to say that jackhammer that Goldberg delivered, and by the way, Goldberg had one of the highest peaks of popularity in the history of pro wrestling, so we respect, and I especially respect Goldberg, outside of the 3 megastars in wrestling history, which obviously are The Rock, Austin, and Hulk Hogan. Goldberg, outside of them, probably had any highest peak of popularity that we've ever seen. Let's get that out the way right now. But that was back in 1998. It's 2020 right now. And that jackhammer that he gave Bray Wyatt was the weakest finisher I've seen since 2002, where Undertaker chokeslammed Hulk Hogan, that half-ass chokeslam, because Hogan could barely even get up. Like, that was one of the worst finishes that I've ever seen. And it was an insult to Bray Wyatt. And one of the things that we talked about, especially I myself have mentioned, in this era, what it shows Goldberg winning, whether y'all realize it or not. Yeah, he equates to big bucks. Chris Jericho said it himself. Did I say Chris Jericho? But Chris Jericho said that, and he says that he congratulated Goldberg for making, having the championship, and bringing in the big money because he's a big name. But like, it shows that this current era that we're in, with the Big E's and the Bray Wyatts and the Seth Rollins, y'all are saying that this era is weak, and you can't do that. You have to build off of your stars that you have. You can't continue to go back to the well of the past stars, because eventually that well is going to dry. That's eventually what's going to happen. And
Fossil fuel of the WWE.
that's how we feel. That's how.
Well, guess what? It is weak. And we blame you for this. I blame you for this. You know why it's weak? Because here's an example. You see this WWE Championship right here. This will be the only time you see it until WrestleMania. Because you don't see Brock ever coming back. And why? It's because you keep putting Brock with the damn title. That's the problem. You keep making all these stars work their behind off, and you keep giving it to the part-time people.
Vince McMahon, you tell the wrestlers to grab the brass ring. That's what you communicate to all the superstars and whatnot. And Bray Wyatt is someone, whether we like it or not, he grabbed the brass ring. His merch sales were definitely on top. He had a great, cool gimmick, probably the coolest debut since maybe Kane back in '97 in Bad Blood, right? Right, fellas?
Yep.
I think like he had one of the best, coolest debuts ever. And in my personal opinion, if y'all wanted to like really push a star, like, y'all should have just did. If y'all didn't want Roman Reigns to get booed out the arena, because I do have some inside information. I know that y'all don't like to have, Roman Reigns be booed, and y'all do lower the mics to make sure that
Lower the mic. Billy's a perfect example.
to make sure that it's not that bad across the TV. But it is what it is. Bray Wyatt.
Stop.
Bray Wyatt is someone.
Stop. It's not recording. It's stopping a little bit. So I was looking at it.
Mine's still recording.
Bray Wyatt is somebody that has always been very, very creative, and you know, y'all had it right in front of y'all. Y'all could have filmed. Y'all could have had Cena and Bray Wyatt for the title. Cena could have gone for his 17th title, and Bray Wyatt could have just like he could have defended his title against Cena, and that would have been big enough. And Bray Wyatt could have retained, and that would have been fine. There you go. You have a star right there that's even further cemented.
Whenever you get a chance to.
So you know, it is what it is.
So, throwing people under the bus, since I am the self-declared brand representative of NXT.
Yes, you
How
are.
about we talk about Ricochet? In a match you could have had, like a Rey Mysterio versus the Big Show type match, where, you know, just maybe he might be able to do something. You took all that, and you threw it away in less than a minute. Literally less than a minute. Here's Ricochet. He earned his way back into the beloved hearts of WWE, worked his tail off into NXT, is loved by just about everyone. Find one person that doesn't like Ricochet. And then you just throw him under the bus again. Why? Why? He's amazing. Probably because Brock Lesnar can't wrestle, but he's big enough and strong enough, so it doesn't matter.
All right, so let me ask you this, since you're the NXT guy. What do you think about Charlotte challenging the NXT champion at WrestleMania? Because I feel like Charlotte has
Shout out
been
to
given
Rhea.
everything anyway.
We love you, Rhea.
We love you too.
But what do you think? Like, do you think like
The fact that they're crossing over with Charlotte Flair and they're already teasing a Finn Balor versus Walter, that could or couldn't be at WrestleMania, or we'll see. But we already have one match that's definitely at WrestleMania. You know what that tells me? Your guys' talent ain't good enough. No one cares about some matches. We're gonna make you care because this is a good match. Why is it a good match? Because of somebody from NXT, including Charlotte Flair, who came from NXT. So, you know, if they got a cross-platform, eventually you guys are going to get swept out and you're not going to be able to air this terrible, like what, the Showdown terrible, I'm sorry. Less than a minute for Ricochet, 3 minutes for Goldberg, come on. You're talking about a guy who couldn't be killed, let alone pinned. And he gets speared 3 times and jackhammered, and that's it. I love it.
Jackhammer. We strongly stress jackhammer, quote unquote. So basically, you know, right now we have just basically bitched about WWE, but we are here representing Real TWC at a WWE event in Philadelphia. So how does everyone feel about the actual matches tonight? I think the match that I am most interested in is AJ Styles versus Aleister Black.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a really great match. Just to let everybody know, just for future references on the show, we have a couple of people here who think AJ Styles is the GOAT all-around performer. I have maintained that the greatest of all time in terms of all-around performing is the great Shawn Michaels, HBK. So that will definitely be a point of talk, you know, down the road. But I think AJ Styles is great, and I think that he's going to put on a great, amazing show with Aleister Black tonight. Is there anything else that y'all like, you know, say about that?
I agree. The match I'm looking forward to is the Elimination Tag Team Championship.
Right, yes.
Because I think the Usos are probably going to take it, but I think the tag team division has gotten a lot better. I'm glad that they're back. I think they make it better. And then the other match is actually the Women's Elimination Chamber. I'm kind of excited. I think this is what, their second in history or third in history?
Second or third?
Yeah. So I'm excited to see who comes out of that one. If WWE books it right.
If Ronda Rousey's involved, that'd be.
Which if she does come back with the rumors coming around, that'll be exciting to see.
I like Ronda Rousey. A lot of people didn't like her, but I think that I get that she's a name. I think she's a name. I think she really dedicated herself to what she had to do. I understand why she got pushed to the moon. That's a case where that's a special case where that's someone who's she's still in her early 30s. Although in wrestling years, actually, early 30s is basically like 25, if you want to be real about it.
The Dave Bautista theory.
Like, I mean, Austin, when he won the title, was 33. Batista was 35 when he won. I mean, DDP, Diamond Dallas Page back in WCW, he reached his peak at 42 years old.
Yeah, late 30s.
So, early 40s. So, Ronda Rousey being brought into the mix, especially someone who actually likes pro wrestling and actually at least tried hard, in my opinion, I thought it was a breath of fresh air for the great women's division that WWE has, especially on the NXT side too. And you know, if she were to show her face tonight, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I guess people have their opinions about Ronda Rousey. I don't know. I know that
as long as she's not given the opportunity because they gave her the title so quick.
I hear you. So, who do y'all think should win the Women's Elimination Chamber tonight? Obviously, we want Shayna.
Yeah, I want Shayna Baszler.
I mean, it's obvious
Shayna,
that she's going to win.
She put everyone over, coming over.
I would have to go-
Another
I would have to
NXT
go to
product. It's funny because I absolutely hated Shayna Baszler in NXT, but as soon as she came to the main roster, I love her because she represents the NXT brand. So, I'm all for it.
I'll go with Baszler as well. I agree.
I mean, she bit somebody, didn't she?
Chris is so focused with NXT that like NXT is the best show. So honestly, if you miss a couple Raws and Smackdowns and watch NXT, it's fine with me, to be honest with you. But you know, we keep tabs on everything because that's just what we do. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching our first Crew Talk episode. We're really excited to continue to grow our content with y'all. We're excited to continue to grow the page. Thanks to all of you who have been with us from the start and who represent Philadelphia and represent wrestling fans all around the world and understand and appreciate what we do. We thank all of y'all, and this is only the beginning for Real TWC. Is there anything else that anyone else has to say?
Vince McMahon, your ideas are antiquated.
You know what?
I'm doing it every week, doing a weekly review. I can only get better. Everyone can only get better. We hope you all get better.
He's doing an excellent job, guys. His content is great. And also, we're getting ready to do a podcast real soon, so be on the lookout for that as well. This is the beginning of it.
That's actually what this is. It's Crew Talk, and you know, once again for the third time, bye y'all.
Peace. Love and happiness.